So I was thinking about some new Spongebob content that I could do, and I just figured I could discuss the seasons as I rewatch them. Similarly to how Scafrilla's production does with BoJack and Clone Wars. I will not be discussing every episode of every season, and instead talking about the seasons as wholes. Like, I'ma start with season 1 and discuss it, and then discuss season 2. I will be picking out some episodes that I feel represents the seasons the best. Let's go.
Hey!
So, here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna be looking at the same things that I do for my episode reviews, which are comedy, animation, and stories. I will also be taking a look at each character in the season and rank them from best to worst. I'm interested in seeing how the characters progress and how they are in each season. Finally, I'll be talking about the music in the season. Let's start with the animation in season 1. The animation does not change that much during the season's run, except for the first episode. Help Wanted looks a lot less polished than the rest of the season, and while it has its special charm, I prefer the rest of season 1 over Help Wanted. Season 1 has this really nice atmosphere where it really feels like you're underwater. This is something that's really missing from the later seasons, so it's always nice to see here. This makes season 1 probably the biggest comfort season for me. Like, if I want to watch a season of SpongeBob and just feel good, I'm probably going with season 1. Next, let's talk about the comedy in season 1. The show has not peaked with its humor yet. I don't think any of the best jokes in the show comes from season 1. With that said, I still think season 1 is funny. There are still some very funny jokes here. We'll get into which characters I think are the funniest this season in the character ranking later in the video, so stay tuned for that. But for me, the funniest season 1 episodes are Pizza Delivery and Hall Monitor. Now, we'll get into the stories in season 1. Season 1 has some great stories. The ones that stand out to me are Pizza Delivery, Sandy's Rocket, Arg, Rock Bottom, Sleepy Time, and the best story the show has ever told, SB129. Alright, so I just want to take a look at season 1's title cards and their music. Can I just say, watching these title cards with the music is perhaps the most nostalgic thing in the world for me. I can say this without a doubt, season 1 has the most iconic music. There are so many iconic SpongeBob tracks being used in the title cards here. My favorite intro songs are Plankton, Pizza Delivery, Pickles, Squidward the Unfriendly Ghost, and Rock Bottom. The musical numbers this season were pretty good. My favorites are the Pizza Song and F is for Friends. Now, I want to discuss the characters in season 1. This show doesn't really add any characters after this season, so everyone is already here. Patrick just peaks so hard in pre-movie SpongeBob. I feel like they really knew how to use him, especially in season 3, but he is great here already. But what they do here with him is either have him play a big part in the episode, like Opposite Day, Sandy's Rocket, or Texas, Hooky, or he just ain't in the episode at all. This is something I'll get into more in the videos on season 2 and especially season 3, but for now Patrick is used pretty good, and is probably the funniest character in season 1.
Oh, east? I thought you said west.
West? What kind of compass are you reading, lad?
This one, sir.
That's west, Patrick. You're fired again.
Some quick thoughts on Patrick's design in Season 1. This is his best design in the show. He looks so cute in Season 1. My top Patrick appearances this season are Bubble Stand, Boarding School, Home Sweet Pineapple, Hall Monitor, and Sleepy Time. And there's only really one episode where I dislike him here, and that is Valentine's Day. Next, Mr. Krabs. I like Mr. Krabs in the first season. He's one of those characters that gets progressively worse as the show goes on, so he kind of peaks here. He is funny and also pretty likable, as his greed has not gone too far yet. Also, something I noted is that he isn't in Season 1 that much. Most of the episodes he is in is just as supporting roles. He plays a major role in like 10 of the 40 episodes. There is actually a 5 episode streak where he does not appear, after the first episode Help Wanted. This mostly has to do with the Krusty Krab not being in that many episodes. This will change when we get to Season 8. Mr. Krabs' design in Season 1 is a bit iffy. He looks good in some episodes, but in episodes like Suds and Employee of the Month, he just looks weird. My favorite Mr. Krabs appearances are Pickles, Culture Shock, and Arg. I actually don't think there is a single episode in Season 1 where I don't like his character. That is also about to change. Let's go with the main guy next. Spongebob is good in Season 1. I think his stupidity and innocence is at a good level here, which makes it not annoying. I don't think Spongebob is that funny in Season 1, however. There are some exceptions with episodes where he has some great jokes, but he's actually more of a straight man protagonist in Season 1. Now for his design. It is one of the best designs he has had in the whole show. It is not my absolute favorite, but it's up there. He doesn't look as cute as Patrick, but he's still pretty adorable. My favorite SpongeBob appearances are Pizza Delivery, Hall Monitor, Sleepy Time, Rock Bottom, and Walking Small. And I don't think there is any episode where I dislike him. There might be a few that you could argue for, but for the most part I like him. Squidward is in a lot of Season 1 episodes. He has always been one of the funniest characters in the show, and his jokes are great here already. His design is also good in Season 1. Squidward is probably the main character that has changed the least over the course of the show, both design and character-wise. I like him overall in Season 1. My favorite Squidward appearances are Pizza Delivery, Opposite Day, Culture Shock, Employee of the Month, and SB129. There are not any episodes where I hated his appearance, but Nautical Neighbors, I Was a Teenage Gary, and Fools in April are the episodes where I thought he was too much of a douche. Sandy is not in a lot of episodes this season, due to her not living on Conch Street and not hanging at the Krusty Krab. I actually like that we don't see her at the places where the other characters are, and it's mostly just at Goo Lagoon. It makes the world feel more real in some way. Sandy is pretty consistent and is part of my favorite joke of the season.
I'll be over there faster than a barefoot jackrabbit on a high...
Oh, yeah, the rabbit. Don't bother, Sandy.
Her design is not the best though. I think she is one of the characters that gets a better design as the show goes on. She doesn't look that ugly in Season 1 and her design has some charm to it, but I just think that her design is about to get better. Plankton is a character that is used very sparingly in Season 1. He only appears in 6 episodes, with half of them being just cameos, which is honestly a good thing. Plankton is used perfectly in this season. In 3 of the episodes, he wanted to steal the formula, with one of those only being for a one-off gag. There is actually a whole episode here that has him doing something else than just trying to steal the formula, which is walking small. I really like that because he is about to be so overused with the formula plot, it's just nice to see. Plankton's design is fine enough. I'm not crazy about this color scheme here, but I think he's going to look a lot better in a couple of other episodes. Pearl is in more episodes than Plankton this season. Yikes. Yeah, I think I've said before that I don't like Pearl, but I actually like her in Season 1. She does more than just cry and scream here. I also think her design is good. Probably the best in the show in season 1. Her best appearance is the chaperone. The episode is just okay for me, but I actually like Pearl's role in it. I also like her cameo in Sleepy Time. After recording everything, I realized that I forgot about Mrs. Puff, but she is actually in quite a few episodes this season, I think. Or maybe she isn't. I know her first appearance is in boarding school, right? And that is really early. Are there any other boarding school episodes in season 1? Now I'm looking through the IMDb page here, and I'm not sure that there are any. I mean, I know she makes an appearance in Sandy's Rocket, for example, but yeah, Hall Monitor. Okay, so I like Mrs. Puff in season 1. I like Hall Monitor, and I like boarding school, and I think she has good characterization here. I guess her design is good already. Might be better in season 2 and 3, but she's okay here. If what I think is true, then there are not any appearances from her that I dislike this season. Now for Mermaid Man and Barnacle Boy. They have their debut episode, is that how you pronounce it? Debut, in this season, and also they have one other episode in season 1. Their characters have been good from their first scene. I really like Mermaid Man. Barnacle Boy is also good, but come on, he's basically just Squidward. I have never seen anyone dislike their episodes, but I will say the first 2 are probably the weakest one of the original series. I prefer 1 over 2, but they are both fine enough episodes. So, in conclusion, season 1 of SpongeBob SquarePants is a good season, and I would rate it a 7.5 out of 10. Maybe an 8, but I feel like there aren't enough great episodes here. There are some things that aren't here yet, but also some things that peaks here. Stay tuned for my next video where I'll be taking a look at season 2.